What's up, guys? Welcome back to the shop. Welcome back to the channel. On today's episode, it's not going to be a whole lot of automotive, like car work, you know, all of this jazz, but it has something to do with that. We have to get this shop cleaned up for winter work, meaning we have to get rid of all the crap that we've compiled over the summer, you know, broken parts, other cars, all the crap that came with them, you know, like this massive pile of crap here. And I'll explain to you why I'm going to do that here in a second, but it's just a bunch of stuff that we got to get done today. So you know what, as usual, let's get after it. This is Busted Radio Garage. All right, guys, like I said a few minutes ago, we've got to kind of get, you know, this crap in order. This is all the oil from the oil changes from Homer and, you know, the other cars, so on and so forth, lawnmowers, whatever. So I got to get lids on all this crap, get it out, put in the barn until we have like a redemption day or whatever they call it. Kind of like where, you know, they'll let you throw away tires, oil, you know, chemicals, all that stuff, and they recycle it the correct way. So we got to hold on to that in the meantime. So I got to get this engine packed up to send up to Calvert Racing Engines. I got to get this transmission packed up to send up to Cope Racing Transmissions. And in the process, when we go to do Homer's body swap, which I'm thinking is going to start happening here in the next week or so, we've got to get this engine out to send to Calvert and that transmission ready to send out to Cope. So we've got a lot getting ready to ship out of here just so everything can be gone through for the premiere, which are for our season beginner, lack of a better word, in April. And then we've got to get that engine sent out, which is currently sitting in the Monza, to get it ready for a blower. You'll see that in a later episode. And then I've got some fun stuff I'm wanting to do with this wall here. I mean, as you guys, I think I've done a shop tour. If not, I'll have to do it in another video. But I mean, we've just got walls and 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 walls full of crap, including our license plate challenge. If you haven't participated in that, or if you're interested in that, let me know. Pretty cool idea that we started. What we do is we want to collect a license plate from each state in the United States, and then some from abroad. We have some Canadian plates up here. I think we have a UK plate, some other stuff. But anyway, you send me a plate for a state that I do not have, and what I do is I put your channel name. You know, you can dedicate the plate to somebody. I have a couple dedication plates on the wall here. Here's one like in memory of Daniel Ziegler. Their parents sent me that. We put the name up there. Here's from our boy, our Canadian brother Darren. He sent us that. You know, Chris from Ohio. Anyway, I got a list up in my office. I usually call it out on my lives, but we've got quite a few of those. We still need to get the rest, and then we'll take it on around the wall and we'll put your name under it. But anyway, so essentially from about right here, this Mopar sign, to roughly down there to that orange sign, I want to take all this off minus these two shelves here, and I want to put our sponsorship, our partner, our friends banners up here, like Cope Racing Transmissions, Calvert Racing Engines, Summit, TNF signs, Wildfire lifts, so on and so forth. I'm still waiting on Advance to get me one, so if you're watching this, I need a banner. You know, just to, you know, help promote them as much as they help us here. And then I'll move all of this jazz somewhere on the walls around the shop. So essentially today is going to be a cleaning day, and doing that, and in the process maybe I'll show you some of the cool stuff we've got just laying around the shop that you just generally don't see here. I'll show you one, for example, here. Behind this light is a vintage, and most of you watch my channel are about my age anyway, and it's just dirty. To be honest with you, this thing's like brand new, been completely restored parking meter that works. Let's see if I can get it in here. Well, I'll have to figure it out, but anyway, keyholes, you know, I don't have the key for it, but you know, it works, still collects change, all that jazz. But I gotta find a new home for this somewhere in the shop. And there's just like years ago, I used to collect Mustangs, right? And people just gave me tons of Mustang, you know, die casts. Some of these are from the Franklin Mint. You know, some of these are, you know, pretty old, and some probably pretty rare, but you know, I've got thousands of them. I mean, absolutely thousands of them. So I just keep them down here so they don't get tore up. To be honest with you, I probably should have kept them all boxed. Might be worth a little bit of something. But there's some, you know, high-end ones up here, so on and so forth. But anywho, let's get to work. This is going to be probably a boring episode for some. Probably a cool little episode for others. I thought about doing this as a live, but that would have been like an all-day live. So I'm just gonna film it. We're gonna get some of this stuff out of here. For some reason, here, check this out. I've got a tree growing in my shop, and that's because the floor is toast. But we're gonna get all that fixed here in about 8 or 9 months when all our materials for the new shop are ready. For some reason, it just takes absolutely forever to get stuff made, but hey, it is what it is, so we're gonna make do with what we got. So anyway, let's go. Mercy sakes, this is gonna take forever. Man, that looks sweet. All right, cool, guys. So now we got our Calvert Racing Engines banner hung up there, which turned out sweet. I love it. So now what we do is we've got a few stragglers left over from what we have taken down. So I think what I'm going to do is just kind of stuff a little bit in and around here to where it looks somewhat presentable. And then I can fill in some blanks, you know, over here with some of the other oddball stuff. And then next, I've got this big old massive area here on the bottom. So I can take that slow speed breaker ahead sign down, move this jazz out, get this shelf out of the way. That's like the storage shelf for the Camaro. It was sitting out there. I'm not sure if you can see it. I've got to get it back in here. We'll move this 6-liter LS out, get it out of the way. That tailgate, probably gonna throw that away. I've just been keeping it in here. I thought about taking it and making like a bench out of it. You'll see people that'll put like a hinge, like a barn hinge or something on those, or a roll-on piano hinge, and then 2 chains to a wall, and then they could fold it down and sit on it. I thought about doing something similar to that, which I thought would be pretty cool. I may still do that. Maybe we'll do like an episode in here in the shop, but anywho. But I've got a real long banner down here I can put, and then put some of this stuff back. And then I've got the Cope banner, which I'm gonna put right there. And then when we're shooting our videos, you know, all our people are represented. I've still got to get a Summit banner over here, TNF sign banner, Wildfire Lift banner, you know, all of our friends on this one wall. And then we'll kind of go from there. So let's keep plugging away. Again, this might not be a video for everybody, but, you know, for our normal people that are in here, our normal supporters, normal fam, friends, whatever you want to call it, you know, we're all just hanging out anyway, right? So let's get back to working on this. This thing is actually pretty cool. It's just an old parking meter. Any of you remember, you know, when you were 16 getting your first license and you lived somewhere near a city, you know, you wanted to park, you come up and you threw a quarter. I'm sorry, it was, yeah, a quarter, 5 cents or 10 cents, depending how long, or depending what you put in there, whether it been a nickel, a dime, or quarter, is how long you got to park. And then it would set a timer up here in this dial. And then, if you ran out of time, it would say violation. Somebody would come around with a pad of paper and write you a ticket for a parking violation. That's been many moons ago, but anyway, these are cool nonetheless. So, let's get it out of here. Alrighty then. So, let's see if this will just, I got that screwed to the wall. We'll move this somewhere else in the shop. I'll show you guys kind of a trick. Way I hang up memorabilia or banners or signs, whatever in my shop is if you know what a cat nail is, it's essentially a nail you use for like putting down vapor barrier, plastic, tar paper, stuff like that on a roof, whatever. And if you have some of those laying around, you take one of those, you pull the little nail out, you put a screw in its place, and boom, you can hang up just about anything, you know, that's flat. So, pretty cool. All right, let's get this jazz out of here real quick. Those are actually the platforms that they built the wildfire lift on, and I kept them thinking I was gonna make a work table out of them. I still may, don't know. Then we gotta get this shelf moved. All righty then. Probably some big old nasty spiders living in these things. Good grief. Come on. While I'm at it, I might as well wipe my walls off because they are good nasty. And what I paid for this paint was ridiculous. Ridiculous. And that's my own fault. Back then, this was just car storage before the old YouTube age or YouTube era or whatever you want to call it. My hands are dirty. I gotta quit touching stuff. Man, the cobwebs. I'm curious how all this rubber keeps getting on my wall. Unreal. Wow, look at the size of that sucker. Good night. All right, that ought to be good enough. So, let's get another one up here. I think I'm gonna put my big old Summit banner here. Let me go get that and we'll see what it looks like. All right, boom. We got our Summit banner up there. We're starting to clear some of these pails out as I'm working. And then again, once we get done, we'll kind of fill in these spots with some extra signs and jazz that we have. All right, let's continue working this way. I don't think I want to put anything there right now. And then we'll focus down here at the bottom on this and then back up this side right here. And then we should have like all of our thank yous to, you know, our supporters here, which is awesome. And then as that continues to grow, we'll expand it out, right? And you know, eventually we'll have more supporters than we will decor on the walls. Because I'm still waiting on a banner from Alky Digger. I'm still waiting on a banner from Advanced Auto Parts. Other than that, I think I got everybody else here, with exception to, you know, some new people want to jump on board. So anyway, let's keep hanging these up. All right, guys, cool. So we got this No Name Nationals banner hung up here on the wall. This was given to me by John Wilburn and Lars. Right when I was actually getting ready to head home, this was hung across the sand barrels during the burnout competition, and Homer signed it right there. Come in just a touch too hot. Anyway, I want to say thank you to them for the banner. And of course, we signed the name tag, Hello BRG. Anyway, so I'm not sure about our plans for No Name for 2025. We'll just have to see how the schedule goes. But anyway, so anyhow, let's go ahead and get this section taken down. And then we've got to hang a few more banners. I got some out there in the sun stretching out. Plus I got a few more over here on the walls. I'm going to get moved over here to the primary wall. And then we'll kind of figure out what we're going to do with the stuff we've taken down. All right, guys, I got all this area cleaned off, got all the signs and stuff removed, wiped the wall down. You know, here's what was up there. That's fine. We'll find a new home for it. We got plenty of space, plenty of real estate for some more signs. So anyway, let me go get the next banner and we're going to hang that big monster right here. All right, cool, guys. There we go. We got Cope Racing Transmissions and their banner on the wall. Make sure you go check them out on their website, and there's a phone number if you want to call John, ask him any questions. Hands down, one of the best transmission companies on the planet. Cope Racing Transmission. Go check them out. All right, let's keep getting after this. All right, guys, cool. We got our supporter banners on the wall. So we got Calvert Racing Engines, obviously Summit, our boys up at TNF Signs who are just unfreaking believable. Wildfire Lifts. This is the No Name Nationals banner that I was given at the event, so we went and hung it up on the wall. And then we got Cope Racing Transmissions. So essentially, I'm waiting on two more banners, and that's going to be Advanced Auto Parts. As soon as I get the banner, this car quest will go down. It'll go on another spot of the wall, and then Alky Digger. And then, of course, anybody else that wants to jump on board, be a supporter of our channel, we'll get you put on the wall as well. So anyway, now that I got all that jazz done, all right, guys, so the next project, I'm not necessarily regretting it. I'm not looking forward to it. It shouldn't be that bad. However, we're going to move the lift. So I'm going to unbolt it from the floor, install its casters, which are leaning over on the wall. And then I'm going to set it right here. You can kind of see this line on the ceiling here. And then there's one just on the other side of these lights. That's where my rafters are. So I'm gonna get the lift in place. I'm gonna run the lift up. I'm gonna mark off a section of my ceiling and I'm gonna cut it off so I'm able to run my lift all the way up. Now I'm sure some of you are asking, Chris, why are you doing this now? You're gonna build a new shop, blah, blah, blah. But look, by the time all those products are ready and all the metal's made and get over here and they get it set up and they get all the grading done, that's like 9 months away. So I have to still continue to do what I'm doing for those 9 months. So that means we're gonna go ahead and get everything set up and get this all looking nice and pretty over here. So let's get to moving this lift. All right, let's get all these bolts out. Then I gotta put the casters on and all that jazz. Of course, that one's not gonna come out. And then get this thing moved. I've never used the casters, but we're about to find out. So let me get all these bolts out, get these casters put on, which are sitting right there. And we're gonna put this roll this thing around the shop theory to the test. All right, guys, I got all the bolts out. I got the first 2 casters set up, installed. So here and here. So let me get the other ones installed over there. We'll get these bolts beat down and we'll move this lift. All right, guys, we got the lift up off its bolts on all 4 corners. So let's get this thing set up and get it moved. Boom! Man, I mean, it's like, just like downtown. Moved it right on along. Sweet! Heck yeah. All right, cool, guys. So we got the wildfire lift exactly where I want it. So we'll go let it down here in a minute and I'll show you that process. But I got it lined up with my ceiling here so we can come in here, like I said, and cut a section out. So we can take this girl all the way up in the air. Now, if I'm really ambitious, I'll box all that in, but it really doesn't make any sense because at some point, this shop's not going to be here. But anyway, I've got it plugged back in. And essentially all I should have to do is raise this up now and those feet are gonna hit the ground. So let's find out. There we go. So now we're back on the ground on all 4 corners. Now all we gotta do is take these casters off and the left is set where it's supposed to be. Score. Cool, all right, I'll be back with you in a minute. Woo, it's been a long day. All right, guys, anyway, I'm up here on my lift. Let me show you what we got going on real quick. Shouldn't have any problem with lighting up here, but anyway. So as you can see, these are the gaps between my overlap on my ceiling. And I think some of these are well into the foot range. So anyway, I got one section here, one section here, one section here, and here, and here. So anyway, if you counted all the here's, that'd be about 16 foot of ceiling I'd take out. Now, to be honest with you, I don't need that much ceiling taken out. I mean, the top of the car, even Homer, is roughly, you know, from here to the deck lid's about 8 foot. So what I'm thinking is take out roughly 3 sections, which would give me 12 feet. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna skip this section here, and I'm gonna start with this section. Take out 1, 2, 3, and that ought to allow enough for the top section of the car to go in to the ceiling, and then I'll rip it off down this way, rip it off down that way, which shouldn't be that big a deal. That bolt just fell out of my toolbox and I really scared the crap out of myself. Not sure if you heard the fart or not, but that was unreal. Anyway, so let's get to cutting. there we go. So we got a nice little hole. So we're able to take the roof section of a car up in and it'll be clear and out of the way. So I got to get myself hoisted up there with the lift, get these old drop ceiling ties cut off, and then car should be good to go. All right, guys, it's the next morning. Sorry, we kind of got like into like, I don't know, zoned out in here, if you will, last night and just kept thrashing myself, Kathy, and Squirt. That, and on top of it, I'm not feeling the best in the world. But anyway, let me kind of show you where we're at now. So this is kind of snowballed. What started into cleaning this corner has essentially gotten into redoing my entire shop. So we've got the hole started in the ceiling here, as you just seen a few minutes ago. We're going to test this out with a car. If not, we're going to take out one more section here. And then ultimately, it'll just stay that way till we do whatever. But we've got some new Craftsman tables here, format, got all the toolboxes. We're kind of going to make this just kind of like our general filming area, if you will. But in the process of doing this, I've got this. Yeah, crap just everywhere. So what started out as a mess over there has now just expanded to the entire shop. So anyway, we're going to get over here and we're going to clean all this up now. Put new stuff on the walls, clean it all up, and then we're going to bring some cars over and put here, stuff for like in the wintertime. You know, Hot Mess, we'll get her moved. You know, we'll put the Monza here, the new race car here, the Camaro here, and then Homer's obviously going to go over here so we can test out the ceiling. And then we got to get his new replacement car in here. And it's just, yeah, this is a mess. But anyway, just kind of show you the real life of BRG when I'm not wrenching on cars. I'm just trying to continuously make my work area better so I can be more efficient. I'm not going from one side of the shop to the other to trying to find a certain tool. If I can get everything kind of like right here in one area, then I'm not moving around everywhere. You know, which is kind of a good thing for time, but bad time for the belly, you know, because I need to walk some of it off. But anyway, let's get back to work. What I want to try to do now is focus on this. I need to get Hot Mess moved over here a little bit out of the way, or at least back against the wall, because there's probably a 10 or 12 foot gap between her and that wall now. And then, yeah, just, I got to start throwing stuff away too. I've got, you know, this can's full, so I got to go up to the house and get one of my big house cans, but good night of living. All right, guys, checking in with you here. It's been a couple hours of being completely honest with you. I didn't film a whole lot of it because really, who wants to watch me sweep a floor? But here, let me flip you around, show you where I'm at for now, and then show you where I'm heading. So let's go. All right, so we've got this here all built out, ready to go. I got some cleaning stuff there where I'm kind of cleaning off everything as I go. But I've got all the cars lined up here, got them covered up until we get to working on them. And then back in here, I've got all these shelves. I went through everything and chucked all the crap I don't need. Got all the equipment and tools cleaned up, lined up back here. And an area for if I need them, what have you, so on and so forth. But everything's kind of organized and put away, which is awesome. Then here's the backside overlooking the shop. Got all this cleaned up down through here. This is all done back around this way, so on and so forth. So now the plan is, I mean, I haven't seen my floor this clean in forever. So now my plan is I'm going to get Homer fired up, get him over here on the lift, test out my ceiling, see if I need to take out a little bit more or not. And then we'll go from there on that. Then I got to get the RT. I think I'm just going to clean him up a little bit, put a cover on him and leave him alone. Then we've got to get Homer's replacement body down here. And I think what I'm just going to do is I'm going to set one here. Well, I got to get my trailer put away for the winter too. So maybe I'll kind of set one here, and then we can just transfer everything, right? So I've got the Monza's 360. This is going to go in the VGG Monza, which is sitting over there. About ready to take that up to Calvert's and get that built. And then I've got to get Homer's engine out, get it completely taken apart. I'm going to send this up just to have it looked at. I talked with Jason the other day at Calvert's. He doesn't think there's really going to be anything wrong with it. But we're going to look at everything anyway, especially the bearings and so on and so forth. And then, good night, there was something else I got to take. Oh, the Hemi's up there. I seen it yesterday. So we got to start getting Noisy Cricket ready to go. Man, it's going to be a busy winter. I mean, unreal. And that's why I'm taking all this time to kind of get everything good and organized now. So I'm not fiddle-farting around, waiting on room, trying to get all this jazz ready. But anyway, so let's get our boy Homer fired up. We're going to set him up here on the lift. We're going to raise him up and see if this hole's big enough. If not, we're just gonna take a smidge more out of it. And then we're gonna foam this all the way around with like some poo noodles or pipe insulation, something like that, just to prevent if we do accidentally touch it, we don't tear up the cars. Then we'll get to fiddle farting around with this back here. I think I'm gonna move my television, which is way over there. I'm gonna move it to about right here. So I've got one of them swivel mounts I can put over there. Anyway, I'm just taking you guys along for the ride on this, getting my shop ready for winter jazz. I cannot wait to get my engines built and get them back. That Monza is gonna be redunculous. So anyway, let's get back to work. All right, boys and girls, we got him on there. It's gonna be close. I think we're gonna take that other section out, but let's find out. Well, so far so good. I think we're gonna go ahead and take this section out right here. These 3 lines all the way across and around, just for craps and giggles, because I'm gonna have to roll him back just a hair. You see my blower's gonna wanna touch there. And once we get that figured out, we'll mark the lift, you know, to where to stop Homer, because he's the one gonna spend the most of the time on here. But anyway, I'm pretty happy with that. I mean, I could actually get under here and, I can get under here and stand up for the first time ever. So yeah, which is awesome. Cool. I'll have to get my LEDs plugged back in, but anyway, yeah, sweet. So yeah, we'll go ahead and get that notched out, and then he'll be dialed in, ready to go, and our lift is set up. You know, all our people, all our supporters, you know, they're all visible in the videos, which is cool. And now I'm gonna get all this swept up and get Homer's replacement body brought in. I'm not gonna show that to you right now. I'm gonna unveil that in the next video, probably the next video or the video after that, once we get in here and start tearing things apart. But I'm gonna get this swept up, and to be honest with you, I'm still not feeling the best. I think I'm gonna go up and just get chilled out for the day. So anyway, I appreciate you guys watching. We'll catch you next time. BRG out.